Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. Not only am I doing sandwich reviews, I'm super happy because the CD just came in from the mail. Yay! But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside the truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Boom, my cold shirt. And got the cool sort of spider in the background and sort of like the sort of the profile images and stuff. If you're unfamiliar, Cold is a band that has been around since the 90s. They kind of got like their big break late 90s, early 2000s with their album 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage and their follow-up Year of the Spider. They kind of famously, they were sort of part of the Limp Bizkit sort of family of bands. Basically when Limp Bizkit became really big, they started going over there and, using that influence they had now to kind of help elevate bands that they were, fans and friends with and stuff. And Cold were one of those bands. They ended up, getting a nice boost from that. But they were a really fucking great band, man. And I shouldn't say were, they still are. They've, been a little bit off and on, but the last, several years, they've just been doing it. They're working on a new album. I've seen them perform live a number of times now, so much so I've actually got videos of said performances. They're on this channel as well. Just in case maybe you might be interested. I really do love their stuff. I think they're a phenomenal band. The lead singer, Scooter, is just... He might be the coolest human being named Scooter ever, even though it's not actually his name, but it's what he goes by. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, it is a sandwich review. Specifically, because it's been a long time since I've reviewed, boom, hopped out to Zenwich in Elmhurst, Illinois. And just want to go over there, a couple things. I have to preface this, because it is a sub sandwich review. 3 things. Number 1, for over 2 years now, I've been going on sub sandwich adventures, and what that means is, for over 2 years, I've been going out to basically every place that sells sub sandwiches, be it chain locations, delis, what have you. I've been going over there, I've been trying out sub sandwiches, reviewing them, and posting them to my YouTube channel. That's where the second thing comes into play, because not only do I go over there and post them to my YouTube channel, I'm such a nice guy. I go over there and I post them specifically to a playlist called Subs for Subs, which is just sub sandwich reviews. So if you enjoy my sub sandwich reviews, first of all, thank you very much. And secondly, that's where you go. At the time I'm doing this, I've got over 100 sub sandwich reviews in that playlist. And that ties into number 3, because maybe that's not enough sub sandwich goodness for you. Maybe you're greedy, you want more. Just wait until Sunday. Why? Because Sunday is SUBday. That is the day when I upload my sub sandwich reviews. Every Sunday you're going to get at least 1. Typically 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, but typically 2. With all that being said, and I just want to mention, because this is a local establishment, it's also going to end up in my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just local spots. And I've reviewed a few things from Zenwich, and if you're unfamiliar, they make Asian-inspired sandwiches. This is not one of those. It's Boom! This is actually a new sandwich they have on offer. This is their Chicken Parm sandwich. Like I said, all their other ones are very Asian-inspired. This one, I guess they just were like, break it up a little bit. It consists of panko-crusted chicken breast, marinara, mozzarella, Parmesan, basil, and arugula. Let's take a look at it. Ooh. And it's not exactly a sub sandwich, but I'm going to call it a sub sandwich. It's a sub sandwich. It looks like Boom, like that, but we're going to take it out for a much better Boom. And I've never had this one from them. I've had a lot of their sandwiches, but I have not had their chicken parm. So, let's take that out. Ooh, it looks ooey and gooey. I like that. So, it looks like this. Boom! That is, can we get a better thing? Something like that, maybe. Ha 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 ha! And then ha 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 ha! Let's go ahead and try out a chicken parm sandwich. Oh wow, since I've had a chicken parm sandwich. Oh, I like that. I like the way that hits. The chicken, it tastes like proper chicken parm chicken. There's kind of like I don't know exactly what it is, man, but there's like a certain way that chicken parmesan is, it's got to be with like the way it's prepared. But it just has like a weird, not in a bad way, but it has like a really unusual like chicken flavor that like you don't see with most other things. It's definitely got that. I'm a big fan of that. And the chicken, it's nice, it's crispy, it's tender on the inside. It's meaty, super tasty. All very fresh. I mean, it's all made right there. Like, I'm a big supporter of Zenwich. I've loved this place for a long time, well before I was doing reviews. They're just this cool little hole in the wall spot, man. I think they're excellent. So it's interesting to see their take on, a sandwich that's not, again, like sort of Eastern inspired. This is really good. I love the freshness of the veg. I think the arugula is nice. Gives it, because it's, it gives it something, not only like a freshness, but it kind of almost gives it a little bit of a counterpoint, a little bit of a contrasting flavor to something like the bold, almost mild fruitiness from the marinara. The marinara is really good, by the way. And it manages to be super flavorful, super tasty, and very well balanced. Another thing I want to mention, by the way, is their bread. I don't think I've ever really talked about Zenwich's bread. I'm not enough of a bread person to know exactly what the bread it is, but it's like perfect sandwich bread, man. It's nice. It's got some crispiness on the outside. It's nice and soft in the middle. It's fantastic. I love their bread. It's top tier sandwich bread, in my opinion. That's such a good time. It's doing all the things I wanted to do. It's super tasty. It's got the freshness. It has the bold flavors. It tastes like a chicken parm. Like even if I didn't know the title of it, I would know what it is immediately. And honestly, I'm gonna go in and say flat out, I think this is the best chicken parm sandwich I've ever had. I'm not gonna say it's the best chicken parm I've ever had, because I have had, like fancier sit-down restaurants and stuff like that. But this is still a very good chicken parm. And again, especially in sandwich format, really, really tasty and good. I like this a lot, man. It's nice, got that crispiness. Oh, man, that's a good time. I like that a lot. It's such a good sandwich. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I mean, I have to go with yes and yes. And here's the thing. I openly admit, I'm a big fan of this place, so it's like, I've never had anything that I wouldn't recommend from them. Because everything I've had, I've always really liked. And I do like to, support kind of local establishments and stuff in my own little minimal way that I can. And Zenwich is definitely a favorite, man. Like, to the extent where I should really be out there a lot more often than I am, but there's just so many good places to eat around me, I just have to sort of bounce around. But I think that for me, man, it's like, I knew it was going to be a good sandwich. But again, I'd never had this one before, and, I didn't know how their take on a more Western-style sandwich was going to go. But it hit every note I needed it to hit. It's super tasty. It's very filling. I got this, and I got another sandwich coming up. So it's like, and mind you, this is half of a sandwich. The other half is in the box. Yeah, man, it's a really good chicken parm sandwich. Just bold flavors, nice and fresh, very identifiable as what it's supposed to be. I'm down with it. I don't know how often I would get it against some of my personal favorites of theirs, but at the very least, it's really cool to have it as an option. Like, a lot of times, usually if I go there, I get a couple sandwiches. This would be like a great second sandwich. Have like one of my stalwarts, and then, So. If I'm recommending it, I think that this is an easy one to recommend, because I think, whereas some of the other ones, since they are Eastern inspired, I don't think they're all that crazy in terms of, their makeup and everything. But maybe, you're just a person who you're not like that used to that type of stuff. Maybe you want something that is a little bit more familiar to a Western palate. There you go. It's something I would say that, I don't want to say most, but a lot of people have had chicken parm. It's a real common dish. This is a really good representation of it, especially in sandwich format. So I would absolutely recommend this one. If you've never had it before, maybe you've gone to Zenwich, you haven't had it, I would say try it. I think it's really good. I'm not going to put it as one of my all-right favorites, but I do think it's a really good sandwich. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourself some truly chicken parm-tastic rest of your life. Chicken parm is amazing. So, final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you can't do all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your opinion on chicken parm? Man, I don't think I actually had chicken parm until I was probably in maybe middle school, I want to say. We had this one local restaurant, and I would get it sometimes there. And, man, it was a good time. Realistically, it wasn't, top quality chicken parm, because it was, just kind of a family restaurant. But, man, it was really good. And, one of my favorite things to eat there, and it's one of those things, it's become a great stalwart for me. It's something I enjoy. And, I'm interested in what you people have to say about it. Is it something that you're into? Is it something that maybe you're not that into? I think it's a simple, yet in its own way, elegant dish. I think it's a lot of fun. Anyway, bye.